Hello guys, welcome to our video today. And today we are going to talk about the cybersecurity reform, the issue today. And we pick up the Dell technology today. And we refresh the videos patterns. We decided to take out the role play. And the reason why we take these methods is because uh, the cybersecurity is a common issue among all the international facility company, and we often to discuss this kind of the problem with different departments, which include the technological engineer and the security department. So today our role play happened between these two important departments, and one of our team members, Zhao Si, take the part of the security director, and me will play the technological engineer today. Okay, here is our contents. Firstly, we are going to introduce about the company, which is the Dell technology, and as well as the issues happening in that time. And we will go further analysis about the issue, which is why these issues will happen and how did it happen. Besides that, we will give the solution to prevent how the issues will not happen again. And there will be some detailed solutions against it. After that, Zhao will give the conclusion about our presenting today. Okay. Now, here we are going to give the background of these issues. In 2021, a very famous company called Dell Technology China has faced an issues, and it happened in 2021. During this event, a third-party misconfiguration led to the exposure over 180,000 customer service records, which included their technology service packs, hardware configuration details, and limited contact data. Though the data did not include the payment or authentication credentials, the leak still sparked internal concern about the Dell handling of vendor integrations and the ability about the real-time access governance. Dell China, as the core player in the global operations of the company, manages a significant portion of infrastructure for manufacturing and enterprises clients in the Asia-Pacific region. The regional dependency on cloud-based systems, growing data volume for smart manufacturing, and the rapid expansion of the edge computing have all magnified the security challenges that their mind faces. As Dell changed from a hardware-centric model to a platform-based service integrator, the Dell China has moved to the forefront of strategical discussions. And this internal conversation between the security director and senior technical engineer will take place during the cross-function review the Dell Zero Trust Transition project. It represents a deeper reflection on lessons learned from the past failure and the critical technical choices that need to be made as the company continues to digitize its operations.
Well, thanks for taking the time to talk to me today. I want to revise something that still bothers me, and frankly, many of our colleagues as well. I'm talking about 2021 data leak from our vendor access management interface. Can we start with that incident? What exactly went wrong?
Absolutely. And I have shared your concern. That incident was a real wake-up call for many of us. In mid-2021, a third-party contractor mistakenly left an internal support database exposed online without proper authentication. The data did not contain password or financial records. By date include hardware ID, client's company information, and configuration logs. What was the most troubling was how long the exposure lasted before it was detected. Several weeks. That highlighted a systematic problem. It had insufficient visibility into the configurations of the third-party assets that interface with our internal tools. We also assumed they were security because we follow the protocols, but we just didn't verify.
That assumption that internal systems are safe if partners are following best practices, it seems dangerously outdated.
Exactly. And that's the core principle behind the zero trust. The idea is we trust, but verify has failed. We need to verify constantly and never assume. That breach might not have caused irreversible damage, but it has exposed our over-reliance on third-party diligence. In China especially, where we work with regional distributors, cloud vendors, and even local governance data exchanges, our network perimeters is only as secure as the wickets integrated node it.
When you look at our operations in the past few years, how much do you think our risk surface has grown?
Well, dramatically, to give you a number, from 2018 to 23, our China-based enterprise deployments expanded by over 230, driven largely by demand for hybrid infrastructure through the Dell Apex. That includes cloud-native apps, on-premise services in provincially data centers, as well as the mobile devices management across from the distributed teams. Each of those components introduce multiple authentication points, API endpoints, and telemetry streams. So yes, our attack surface has exploded.
So let's talk solutions. What do you believe is the first systematic weakness we need to address?
Okay, the first issue is access governance. We found during a recent internal audit that more than 18% of the technical staff retain privileged access to administrative environments more than 90 days after the law changed. In some cases, engineer has active credential for systems they hadn't worked on in over a year. This accounts, if compromised, offer a straight path into our infrastructure. Before adding new tools, we need to clean house. This includes imposing strict lower basis access controls, enforcing timely expiration of the elevated permissions. Also, is scale biometric authentication across all the operational units.
Then let's talk about the external threats. I have heard our exposure to ransomware is growing. Is that accurate?
Yes, it's quite serious. Ransomware as a service has transformed criminal activity into a scalable business model. Instead of a single actors, we now see some coordinated operations providing attack skills, data exfiltration services, and even some customer support ransom negotiations. For instance, known as the vulnerabilities like the CVE 2023-23397, a flaw in Microsoft Outlook with a CVSS scores of the 9.8 has duly exploited. The attackers don't even have to write the code themselves. They bind to keys, scan for exposed endpoints, and quietly infiltrates through the lateral movements. One thing, they encrypt everything from the SharePoint servers to production databases.
So what can we do to prevent that?
The long-term answer is the zero trust architecture, which is shown in the screen. NIST is a definition in SP 800 2207 clarifies that ZTA is about threatening every access request as potentially hostile, regardless of its origin. It demands a strong identification verification, micro-segmentation of the system, continuous behavior monitoring, and strict compliance of the endpoint posture. Take our current SIEM system. It flags over 9,000 events per second. Humans can possibly trigger that. That's where we need machine learning and behaviors analytics to tell us when someone is acting inappropriately. For example, if a user logs in from Singapore at 3:02 a.m. and starts downloading gigabytes of the CRM data, we don't wait. We just isolate it.
Can you give me a breakdown of what an actual attack might look like in our environment?
Certainly, just imagine this. An attacker tried to purchase a Dell employee's login credentials on a dark web marketplace. These credentials, reused across multiple systems, give the attacker access to our VPN. Once they got inside, they use the tools like the Bluehound or Cobalt Strikes to the map to our internal network. They find a unpatched Windows server and still running a SMB protocol vulnerable to internal brew and gaining the administrative privileges. Within 45 minutes, they will drop a payload such as Black Cat or Ruyok, as well as the CRM system, the customer support logs, and even some internal research and development folders are encrypted. A recent note appears demanding $2 million in cryptocurrency. It just happened with a timer ticking down.
That's horrifying. What's our recovery plan is if that happens?
Well, it starts with the multiple backups. In copies that has stored offline or in the warm configurations so they cannot be altered by ransomware. Then we use the abstractions tools like the Azure Site Recovery or VMware SRM to spin up clone environments. After in 30 minutes, every business unit participations in these fire simulations twice a year to rehearse their responses. These tabletop exercises are not just compliance checklists, they are rehearsals for our survivals.
And what about the human side? How do we build a culture that sees security as everyone's job?
Awareness must be embedded, not instructed. Instead of the dour PowerPoints briefings, we run phishing simulations, surprise audit drills, and even offer incentives. Teams with full MFA compliance and no violations receive recognitions. Managers are trained firstly because culture flows downward. If security is a footnote to operations, then it will breach are inevitable.
Thank you so much. This gives me a clarity and urgency. Let's make resilience part of our identity.
Well, I totally agree. This all starts today. Okay, here is our main part of our conversation for today's presentation. And before the final part, Zhao Si will give the conclusion of the whole presentation today, in case you may miss some important parts.
Hey guys, I will give you a short conclusion about our conversation. The dialogue presented here captures more than a typical response to a single cybersecurity event. It reflects a paradigm shift within Dell Technology China as the company's operational footprint expands through cloud-native services, third-party platforms, and global partnerships. The traditional assumptions of perimeter security have become obsolete. The zero trust architecture is not a silver bullet, but it offers a principled, layered, and affordable response to the multi-faceted threats facing modern enterprises. Uh, Through this conversation, we have seen that effective cybersecurity requires a fashion of technological precision uh, and cultural transformation. Technical interventions such as micro-segmentation, biometric access, and continuous monitoring are only effective when embedded in a culture that priorities uh, proactive security behavior. This dialogue also shed light on the human factors at play. Trust mismanagement, complacency, and over-dependence on legacy system are all risks that cannot be solved by the tools alone. Critically, Dell's journey from reaction to prevention and sources a broader industry trend. Cybersecurity is no longer a NAC responsibility. It is core to enterprise resilience, brand trust, and global continuity. Organizations that fail to make this shift may find themselves not only breached but broken.
Okay, that's great. Very thanks Zhao to the conclusion of the part of the presentation today. And before to saying goodbye, we also need to express our deep appreciation to those references. We might use these references during the whole conversations and this video. Very appreciate with this reference great help. Okay, now guys, here's the ending of the whole part of the video. If you like our video, please follow our channel and make any comments you might have questions in this video. We may see you next time. Have a good day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.